Alright, let's get serious. I'm gonna be making the case for why Yellow Toad is actually fire as hell, okay? Yellow Toad is sick, and nobody believes me. For some reason, this is like a hot take. I don't get it. It seems pretty obvious to me, but apparently not to everybody. What's your favorite Mario character?
Yoshi.
Alright, if you had to pick a Toad, what color?
Color? Specifically a color of Toad.
Yeah, what's your favorite color?
I can't pick like the really sick like minor Toad. The grandpa Toad, the old Toad.
No, that Toad. Okay, you have to pick a color Toad. What
Blue.
Color? Damn you.
No, I'm right.
So you at least still say yellow, right?
Out of all the Toads, yellow's probably one of the better ones.
No.
Let's go.
Yellow Toad is the bad Toad.
We're gonna go through. I gotta go through a couple things with you guys here. All right, a couple facts that you guys need to know about this subject. Yellow Toad is just a walking beacon of joy. You got Blue Toad. You got Red Toad. You got all these other Toads. You got Green Toad even. I can kind of see Green Toad being a cool dude. Blue Toad, I don't think anybody really thinks he's that cool of a guy. I mean, Blue Toad just comes off as a little arrogant. Blue Toad's like the guy who's like he looks really cool in groups, but then when he's like by himself or like, I don't know, he's got a lot of issues, all right? And then there's all these other Toads. There's Pink Toad. I mean, Pink Toad can't really be that cool. I mean, it's Pink Toad. There's kind of a ceiling on how cool Pink Toad can really be. Red Toad, he's classic, sure, I'll give you that. But what else does he really got? I mean, he makes noises.
Here we go!
And he's kind of always there. He's kind of just the guy who's always there. And you never want to be that guy. Now Yellow Toad's a little different than these guys. He's like Sunshine in fungal form. He's the Toad that breaks the mold, you could say. Yellow Toad's just different. He's got a special aura to him. He's got better vibes. So I'm gonna put this up on screen. This is kind of a vibe chart of like some of the popular Toads. We put them up on a vibe chart. This is actually this study came out of the Grave Branch Institute of Studies, which actually kind of really demonstrates my point, showing that if you look at this vibe chart, you compare them. You've got, Green Toad's kind of coming up there. He's kind of close. There's a couple guys up there, but Yellow Toad's just superior on vibes. So yeah, you might be asking, what's your experience? Why are you sharing this today? What gives you the right to make such a claim? You might be saying. I'm gonna be real with you. The only time I've ever played with Yellow Toad is on Super Mario Bros. For the Wii. But based on that experience, he's clearly the best. So in Super Mario Bros. Wii, let's analyze your options here, all right? You're only given 4 characters to play with. You've got Mario. Who wants to play as Mario? That's basic as hell, okay? Anyone who wants to play as Mario in Super Mario Bros. Wii is just on a power trip, and they're like, I want to be the classic Mario. Yeah, you can have classic Mario, all right? No one else wants him, okay? He's the least interesting, least cool character there. All right, you can go ahead and have him. So we got Mario. You're not picking Mario, okay? You're not picking Mario. Who's your other options? You got Luigi. Why would you pick Luigi? Luigi gets second place in most basic character ever, okay? And that's arguably an even worse role than most basic character ever. Luigi's just kind of a pushover. I think Luigi gets kind of screwed over in this game, for lack of better term. What does Luigi even get out of this story, Luigi's just Mario's homeless brother who follows him around on all these adventures and stuff. You're not picking Mario. You're probably not picking Luigi. What are your other 2 options, all right? Mario and Luigi. I don't want to be one of those little Italian plumber dudes. What if I want to be someone cool and interesting? What if I wanted to actually have a personality? Then maybe I'd pick one of the other 2 guys. So what are the other 2 options? Well, we've got 2 Toads. All right, 2 Toads. We got Blue Toad and we got Yellow Toad. I see a lot of people who kind of agree with that first part. They're like, Mario and Luigi, they're basic, they're stupid, they're dumb little plumber guys. Why would I want to play as them when I could play as someone more interesting? So they follow me there. But then they get to the 2 Toads and they're like, all right, Blue Toad. And this is where I'm gonna have to call these guys out. Blue Toad is not the right choice here, all right? Yellow Toad is the right choice. Blue Toad sucks. Why? Blue Toad has the opposite energy as Yellow Toad. First of all, I think a big issue with Blue Toad is he has zero personality, all right? What does Blue Toad even stand for? Nothing. He's a blank slate with delusions of importance. He also lacks drip. Yellow Toad, you kind of see his personality radiate from him. He's got that sunny, eye-catching look. Blue Toad just looks like a dumb Smurf in the Mario universe. I mean, it's just Red Toad, but like the opposite color. So I just thought you guys needed to hear that today. You know, it's a real shame that this even needed to be said. But I've just noticed whenever I play this Super Mario for the Wii, for some reason, and I don't get why, Yellow Toad is the last one that people go to. Why would you want to pick Mario, Luigi? You know, there's two types of people, all right? Both of them I disagree with, but there's a type of person who picks Mario and Luigi, and there's a type of person who picks one of the Toads. And they usually always go with the Blue Toad. And I don't see why you would say, all right, I don't want to be basic, all right? I've already made that claim. So I'm not picking Mario or Luigi. I'm going to go with Blue Toad. Why would you pick Blue Toad? What does Blue Toad have? Yellow Toad has a more personable color. It's blue, dude. It's blue. Blue Toad is blue. That's what he is. Yellow Toad, he's yellow. He is yellow. But yellow is so much more different. All right? It's so much more vibrant. It's different. It's like, it's so unique, okay? If you want to be special, that's who you got to pick. Blue, in the context of a toad, means nothing. It's just the opposite color as regular toad. You feel happier, more joyful, cozy, all right? Yellow Toad's the GOAT. Absolutely true. Also, just compare, like, when you get the power-ups. Dude, Yellow Toad looks way better with the power-ups than Blue Toad does. Blue Toad makes you think that everything's ice and water related. That's not the case. That's stupid. And the Blue Toad looks stupid, especially when you got the fireball power-up. What kind of color scheme is that? Just bright red and bright blue right next to each other? Like, that just looks trashy. Yellow Toad, when he gets the fire power-up, it's like game on. He goes from happy, joyful to like, all right, my joyful, sunshine, radiant energy is turning into fire, and I'm going to kill everything. And that is awesome to see. That is cool to see. And then, when Yellow Toad gets the ice power-up, it works well. You got that light blue on that light yellow. When he gets the propeller, he looks all gold, and he's dripped out. I mean, you just really can't go wrong with the Yellow Toad. It's the last Toad most people think of, but it's just such a shame because he's the best one. I make this video not only to raise awareness for Yellow Toad, but I make it to, honestly, to kind of throw some shade at Blue Toad, because this guy, where does Blue Toad does not deserve any of the fame or the fans that he has. Yeah, that's my little rant.